Okay, looking forward to a good week, good meetings this morning. We'll give you a couple injury updates because since I know the injury report's coming out later. Carson will be full today. Fisher will be limited. Nelson will be out today. And then Xavier Rhodes will be out today. So open it up. He had a back, something with his back, just has occasional back flare up, and so just had a little back issue, and so we just want to try to get ahead of it and get him back on track.
Still a chance to play on Sunday for this one?
Yes, still a chance to play on Sunday.
And Xavier?
We got to take that day by day.
Carson, or you said Carson will be full today?
He'll be full.
Okay.
I think with Carson, you've talked in the offseason, maybe you do with all the quarterbacks, about how do your job. Because sometimes you see quarterbacks try to do too much. Is that something you really stress, or is it understood? Or can you not assume?
Yeah, I don't think you assume anything. I think you stress it, and especially with a guy like Carson. I mean, he's got a super aggressive mindset, and he's capable of making plays, down the field with his feet in a lot of different ways. So, but the good thing about Carson is he's not just a big physical specimen who can do all that stuff, but you got a really sharp mind, and so we can run the offense with rhythm and timing. So that's really what we want to focus on, and let that big time stuff that he's physically capable of. We'll have plenty of time for that to show up.
So there is a balance. I mean, from being aggressive to when punts are okay.
Yeah, there is, and that's the fine line. That's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. Only he can pull that trigger. We can talk to him about it, and I think, but ultimately we talk about two sides to the same coin. On one side is your instincts and your ability, and so we want you to use that. But on the other side of the same coin is discipline. We want you to run the offense, stick with the plan. But that'd be foolish just to say, hey, we're going to be so hyper-disciplined, we're not going to allow you to do what you can do. It's that combination of both things, and then he's got to play that out.
What's Xavier Rhodes?
Excuse me?
Xavier?
It's a calf. Calf related.
You guys named captains yet?
Yes, we have named captains. On defense, it's DeForest and Darius. On special teams, it's Zaire Franklin. And on offense, it's T.Y., it's Carson, and it's Quentin will be on offense.
That player vote?
That was player voted, yeah.
Only players?
Only players.
Knowing Carson as you do, is he going to need to sort of temper his own expectations as he moves into the season?
I think he's in a really good mindset right now. I really do. I think he's locked in. It's evident. It's evident to me in every way. One thing about Carson, I've always appreciated this about Carson from the first time I've ever been on the field with him. He's a team-first guy. This guy is a team-first guy. He doesn't care about his stats. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. What he cares about is winning and being a good teammate, being the leader he's supposed to be for the team. So, that's a good thing for all of us.
What's a realistic expectation for Eric Fisher moving forward?
We got to determine that, chap. I mean, we got to see. He did a little bit of work yesterday, and that went well. I look at him and I think, man, he looks like he's ready to go, but he hasn't done anything in 10 days. So we're going to measure that out over the next couple days.
When he hasn't played football in 8 or 9 months, I mean, as far as stressing it, you take that into account too, I think.
You do, but then you also take into account that once this kind of injury is healed, it's healed. So, if we're not worried about that, then you just got to say, is he a football player? Yeah, he's played a lot of football. And, yeah, you got to practice and you got to get back into it. So that's the give and take. I think what I want to be guilty of is, and what we've talked about is, hey, let's push him. We can pull him back. Let's try to get him ready right now. Try to get him ready to play this week. Maybe that's not realistic, but let's try. And then we can always pull back.
Is he ready? I mean, in your...
Pardon?
Is he ready?
I don't know yet. I need to see more.
Frank, what have you learned? I know you've coached a lot of quarterbacks over the years, but what have you learned these last 3 years where you've had to adapt to different quarterbacks each year? How has that shaped how you approach coaching that position? Have you learned anything, or just is it kind of old hat, or what is that experience like?
It's fun. I mean, it's fun. You don't like having to change quarterbacks every year, but then there's another professional growth side of it that you like doing it because it really challenges you to, use the best of every player, but certainly the quarterback is a key figure. So It's fun, and the good thing is we got a great coaching staff. You know, Marcus Brady has been unbelievable now. I mean, he's been unbelievable in his command of the offense and helping to lead the offensive staff on how we're going to make our adjustments and everything. So, and then the team has embraced that. You know, the offensive unit has embraced that, and I think looks forward to that. At the end of the day, the one thing that's consistent in whatever style quarterback we have is we're going to spread the ball around. It's going to go everywhere, and I think guys like that.
Frank, I understand the 1-0 mindset, and whatever happens Sunday, you move on to LA the next week. But considering everything that's happened over the last month, will a possible win mean a little bit more, considering it kind of proves what you guys think? Like, let's just block it out, let's just go day by day and not worry about all the stuff we can't control.
Yeah, without a doubt, Zach, you know, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's 1-0 mindset. But listen, I mean, we all know the opener's a big deal, especially when it's a home opener, especially when your owner is letting you know that it's a big deal. And so I think we've all got that message. And for sure, I'd like to deliver him one of these here before too long.
When you look at a guy like Paris Campbell, everybody's seen the talent, but unfortunately, he spent more time on the injured in the first couple of years. What have you noticed different about him this year now that he is, knock on wood, healthy?
You know, the one thing with Paris is, first of all, he's just very mature. So, he's a very mature man, and so, but what's grown, Mike, is that his knowledge of the offense. So, where early on, although he was hurt, just kind of playing one position, now he can play anywhere. I mean, we have him playing outside, we have him playing inside. He's not just the gadget guy, you know what I mean? He's a very good receiver. He just needs opportunities. I just try to tell him to be patient. Your time will come.
When you look at that, at some point it can become mental, especially when everybody says, "Hey, you're talented, but you can't stay out the training room." Have you guys talked about that with him?
Yeah, no, I mean, just to the extent of, hey, just be positive, just believe, be positive, control what you can control. Things happen for a reason. Paris is a man of strong faith. It doesn't feel good at the moment when you go through those tough times, but ultimately, I think Paris knows and believes that that it's going to end. The story's going to end up the right way.
Frank, what have you guys seen out of Rock in this camp and where he is in his third year?
I think Rock seems very dialed in and very focused. I know he always is. You guys know Rock. That guy, he's all work. He is all work. So I have felt an air of confidence with him, more confidence, even this year. I can see it in his body language, kind of feel it, in that way. So just got to continue to, make plays and do what we're doing out there. Very, very strong belief in Rock right now.
Frank, stats were kept during 7-on-7. Interceptions were tabulated. How much do you read into those in 7-on-7? And also, how has he looked 11-on-11 when we're not watching?
Carson?
Yeah, Carson.
Yeah, no, he's looked very good. We had a couple interceptions in 7-on-7. I don't, everything matters, but I think he's looked very good. I think he's looked very good in 7-on-7 and in 11-on-11 drills. I think, we'll see. The proof will be on Sunday.
Frank, given all the things that you guys have been through, as you sit here the Wednesday before the first game, have things played out about as well as they could when you saw all the adversity you faced?
Yeah, I mean, I really think that's true. I mean, there were times where there was a lot of moving parts, a lot of bad news, but, we just stayed positive. It's a long season, and so I think things are trending in the right direction. I think you can feel a good focus by the team right now. I think you can feel that confidence by the team. We know we're playing a very good opponent. I mean, this is a very good team we're playing, and so we know what we're up against, and we know what we have to do.
Frank, what did Julian Davenport do to kind of separate himself from that competition as the left tackle either line?
I just think the consistency. Julian is a good athlete. He's got length. He's been consistent. I think his pass protection has been above average. He's done a nice job there, and and he's just fit in the run game, and just provided consistency at that position.
Back on Ferris, you talked about staying available. As a play caller, does your mind just sort of think about what he can do 15, 16 games and what you can do with him and what he's able to?
I really think the sky's the limit for Paris. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. I think it's going to take a couple years for that to fully develop, but I think that we've seen flashes of it. I think it's going to continue to get better. God willing, he'll stay healthy this year, and and take that next step.
Okay, last one here. The team has changed. The personnel for Seattle defensive has changed. But Carson has really struggled against Seattle in his career. Do you put much stock into any of that?
I don't. I mean, this is a completely different team, completely different season, completely different game plan, the whole deal. So, you know, this is the 1-0 mentality. This is all that matters is this week, and I feel like we'll have a good week of preparation and play well.